Hey everybody, this is Mojo from ThreeChordGuitar.com. Yesterday I published a song on MojoTwanger.com this time, a cover of Billy Currington's Can You Let Me Down Easy. And several people, upon watching the video, asked me if I could make a lesson for it. So, here we are. I don't necessarily play it the way he plays it. As always, I just play the chords that sound right to me and that are easy, quote-unquote, to get through. I'm capoed at the 2nd fret, so keep that in mind. The chords you're going to need today: G, C, a B minor 7, which is basically the same thing as an A minor, but 2 frets up, and therefore you need to do the bar chord thing. I believe you'll need a D, and that's probably mostly it. Oh, I think there's an F in there somewhere. Alright, so it starts in G. First there's an intro. So you do a regular G chord, then you go to a C chord, and when you hit the C chord, you slide it up so that you stay in a C chord shape, but technically your index finger, instead of being at the 1st fret, is now at the 3rd fret. So same strings, just slide it up and come down. So that means that your middle finger that was at the 2nd fret is now going to be at the 4th fret, and incidentally your ring finger, which was at the 3rd fret, will now be at the 5th fret, and then you bring it back. That twice. Then you go back to G. There's a little moonlight, C, dancing on a sand. G. There's a warm breeze blowing by the ocean as you're taking my hand. You're back in C, and then you go to B minor. You need to know, B minor 7, where I'm standing now. Standing, you're back in C. I'm right on the edge of giving in to you. Baby, it's a long way down. Down, you're in D. And that brings us to, so that's the end of the verse, that brings us to the chorus, which is, we'll start in G. If I fall, B minor 7, then can you let me down easy? And C. So G, E minor 7, C. If I leave my heart with you tonight. So if you're in G, with you tonight. You're in B minor. And then will you promise me, back to C, you're treated right. Right, you're in A minor. Barely hanging on. Back to C. If I fall, here's your F. C, will you let me down easy? And then easy, you're back in G. And you can do that riff from the intro. Of your perfume. Now we're in the 2nd verse. It's going to be the same as the 1st verse. So G, floating in the air. C, looking like an angel. That like you're back in G. Lying on a blanket with a halo of hair. And you do the halo part, you're in C again. And those lips, B minor 7. Too good to be true. Back to C. Once I taste that kiss, I know what'll happen. I'll be at the mercy of you. You're in D. Pause a couple of beats. 1, 2. If I fall, let me down easy. If I leave my heart with you tonight. bit of a solo. The chords that I usually play, and they are E minor, F, C, D, and a D brings you back to be ready to hit the chorus, because that's the same note as when you do, you know, right over, given to you, girl, baby, it's a long way deep down, and then you hit your chorus again. If I fall, can you let me down easy? If I leave my heart with you tonight, will you promise me you're gonna treat it right? Barely hanging on. If I fall, will you let me down easy? And then it repeats the last line, so you're in F. If I fall, C, can you let me down easy? And that same intro riff. I would recommend to, when you play the song, to let it breathe. It's a song that you sort of get into and don't rush it. At least it's my recommendation. Sort of get a feel for it, but definitely kind of, it's supposed to be a bit of a seductive kind of tune, so, you know, try and do that, whatever that means. From a strumming standpoint, yes, I am finger picking, but at the same time you can do the same with a pick. I like to, on slower songs like that, I like to, as I say, let them breathe, but at the same time you need to put something in there. So instead of hitting your G chord from the start, just with a thumb, I'll hit the bottom G here, the bottom E string. And that gives you, you know, a little bit of languid, take your time sort of feel to the song. See how there's a fair amount of pauses, you know, like beat, and strum again. Pause. Pause. Have fun, it's a beautiful song, enjoy. Let me know if I can help. ThreeChordGuitar.com with the digit 3 is the forum, so feel free to come ask questions. Be well.